Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to the Little Weird Shop. We're going to make a little wall coffee bar for the homestead here out of this floor planking I got from a friend in South Carolina. I'm not sure what the wood is. And some walnut. So I've got 1, 2, 3 longer ones and one short one I've got on the end down there of this flooring. And some walnut here. I'm going to resize the walnut. But the plan is to make like a wall L shape, something similar to, I don't know if you see that little coffee bar in the shop over there. Let's see, zoom in on that thing. Made this little one here. It's going to be bigger than this. It's going to be for a Keurig, a little bigger Keurig than this in the house. And on the base here, we're going to have a spot for the Keurig, enough room for a sugar bowl, and to set a cup of coffee out in front here. And then the back's going to come up a ways and hang 2 cups and a basket for some creamer or coffee, something like that. So, just kind of laying out everything here now. Make sure I got enough wood here. And I'm pretty sure I do, because it's going to be, the back's going to be about 20 inches tall. And then it's going to come out about 15, that's 35. And even give it another 2 inches or so. I've got about 48 inches here total length. So, I think I can make it out of this. So, I think the first step is going to be clean up this side of the flooring through the planer. You can see the other sides are painted. And so, planing this all, the flooring all, and then figure out how I'm going to do these edges with this tongue and groove, or just eliminate that. Probably end up just eliminating it. So here we go! Alright, I'm running these floor planking boards for the wall coffee bar through the planer. I made one pass already. Alright, I decided just to run these walnut pieces for this coffee bar through the drum sander a little bit. Okay, here's the rough layout of what it's going to be. Of course, I got some more edges on the walnut to straighten up. And it's right now sitting at 18 1/8 wide. I'd like to have 17, so I'm good there. And I think for the bottom and then the piece going up, I need at least 35, about 37 inches, close to 37 inches. I got 36 1/2, so I'll have just enough. Of course, where I gain my extra couple inches is also this down here. Let's turn this a little bit. Down here, we're going to have kind of like a breadboard end on the bottom piece with that, so that gains me a couple inches. Then up at the top, going to have a like a breadboard end topper out of walnut, which will use this piece. I'm going to double thick here at the top, little decorative. So that'll be glued together, be twice as thick, and cap off the top. So with each of those, I'm gaining almost 5 inches also. So when I cut this, which I'm going to cut it at a 45, kind of like a waterfall table, cut the wedge out so I can fold it up, secure it probably with some dowels and maybe a biscuit or 2 to make my L-shaped coffee bar for the wall. Should work out good. I plan on hanging this with like a French cleat. Goes good and strong. So far it's going good. Alright, I decided to jump into the walnut, kind of like a crown molding that's going on the top of this coffee bar. Did some experimenting. I decided to go with 2 pieces so I could get some details in there, and I put, just on this bottom piece, I put just like a cove. See if I can get a little close-up of that cove on it. And on the top piece, I used a bead detail bit. Kind of becoming one of my favorite things, as you can see there. So then these 2 are going to get glued together. And that's going to form the top of the coffee bar. A little more interest than just a square block there. So let's spin this around here. So it's still kind of just laid out here. So then this is going to go at the top, the part on the wall. That'll go on the top to cap off that top. That'll look pretty good. Pretty good. If I did say so myself, man, I think I just did. Oh well. Okay, here are the 2 top molding pieces, walnut, that I just routed those edges on, glued together to form one piece. It's gonna look pretty cool. Got a lot of nice lines in it, so I think I got enough clamps on it. Well, there it is. Pretty nice. I like it. Okay, I just laid these boards out in the clamps here just to mark up for biscuits. I've got the good side down, so that'll be against the clamp, so it'll be flat. I'm not going to plane these to match it. This will be fine, because this will be underneath and sitting on the wall, and the thick ones are on the outside, so nobody will know these on the inside are thinner. So I drilled this first row for biscuits. Now I got to mark the rest. I'm putting 2 in the top and 2 in the bottom, mainly just for lineup, so that's 4 down this side. And hopefully got them positioned to where when I cut the V out to waterfall it up, I don't cut into a biscuit, but then again, it's going to join right back together, so that wouldn't be a problem. So, let's get these marked up. Alright, I got all the biscuit slots drilled, so next I'm going to go grab a bite to eat to give me strength for glue up. I can't be responsible for any foul language during the glue up. You know what I mean? I hate glue ups. Well, as usual, I didn't turn the damn camera on when I started gluing, but actually it went pretty uneventful. I glue all over me, as usual, par for the course, but seems to be pretty flat on the bottom, I think, from what I can feel from under the edges. So, that's what I like. So, we'll see after it dries how it looks. Sorry I didn't get that filmy, but there was really no cussing. It just went pretty smooth. So, save some time in the video. Okay, let's stick this thing on the clamps here. These little heavy Bessie's here. Bessie's a heavy girl. They got big bones. Yeah. Well, let's see. Woo! It's pretty good. It's pretty good. A lot of glue, but I think it's gonna look so good when it's done. Put some armor seal on that thing. That is gonna be a popper. Popper. Yeah. Popper. Nice. Flat and everything back there. Better. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, what's up? Hey, what I'm going to do next before I flatten this and sand it is I'm going to get some tinted epoxy. I got a little spot there, there's a little hole there, and a little knot there. I want to put some tinted epoxy in, and then we'll get the plane out and plane it down a little bit. Well, that worked out. I had some epoxy that I had just used on a different project, and a little left in the cup that was starting to get a little firm, and I had enough for this. I think this is going to work. That one's filled. Filled. That looks good. I think that's good. So we'll see what sits up. That might do it. It was already tinted light brown, which will work. So yeah, didn't have to mix up another whole batch. Very good. Very good. All right, I took the belt sander, sanded this down. Epoxy and all, everything come out pretty good. Belt sander did a little hand scraping. Next, I'm gonna trim each edge to get maximum yield. So I've already got that line on there. And this sanding was just up to 120 because we'll do final sanding once it's cut up in pieces. So I'm going to trim each edge off, square it up, and then find the point where I want to put my 45 wedge in there to waterfall it up together to form a taller back and shorter front there for the wall coffee bar. That's where we're at right now. Alright, I cut both ends square with the Keurig Jig AccuCut. Works fantastic. And I just set the that top piece on there, just kind of get the feel of how that's going to look. I think it's going to look pretty good. And decide whether or not to extend it past the edges, kind of like it is now, or cut it flush. Decide that later. But right now I got to figure out where I'm going to cut this V wedge out so we can waterfall it up, because I want at least 15 inches of shelf and at least 20 for the top. I should have plenty to do that. And then I also have, well, let me go get it here. Then I also have this piece that's going to be a breadboard end on the shelf part, so that's going to give it another just over 2 inches. So let's figure out where I'm going to cut this. I want a minimum 15 inches down here, a minimum 20 inches on top. I think there should be no problem. Okay, hopefully you can see I've got it marked for the waterfall cut. You know, you just don't cut 145 and fold it up because you got the wrong angle, so you got to cut opposite 45s, and that back will come up and make a 90 degrees. So with that point there, gives me, raise this camera up, that point mark I just showed you gives me 16 inches this way with the breadboard. I wanted a minimum of 15, but a little more if I could get it, so 16 makes me happy. And this way, up to the trim up there, I wanted at least 20, and this is going to give me 21 inches. So I'm gaining an inch over my minimum each way, and able to waterfall that. So I think that's gonna work. So I think I'm gonna cut it. I have to use the AccuCut track again to cut that. So I think we'll be getting that set up next. Okay, I couldn't use the AccuCut to cut these 45s. They won't handle a 45-degree angle on a blade. So I got my old Rockler guide out here. Allowed for the blade. Should put my angle right here where I need to first cut. So I've got a couple things here to kind of support that so it won't fall off. Hopefully this works. Like I said, I don't want to ruin this thing now. Yeah. Okay, let's give this scary thing a go here. I don't know, I'm not feeling real good about this, but not much choice to get this cut. So this is solid. This clamp will take off once I get started. This does have some clamping ability in this bar here. I just have this on here for some counterbalance weight. It's clamped down here to the table saw. Got some support here for this piece. Once it's cut, and let's just check again. My blade is coming right on my mark. So if I can keep it against that guide, I think I'll be in business. Make sure I'm not going to cut my table saw under here. No. So I think we're good. Look out. Make sure this stand's not sticking too far down. Nope, I'm missing it by a mile. Take this off now. Like I said, this does have some clamping ability, and I'm going straight, so far so good. Woo! Wow! I think a little bit splintered out a little bit here at the end. Not bad, I'd say. Well, that splintering piece is going to get cut off with the other 45, so a little bit here, but not bad. So that's my bottom piece, which is 13.5, and with the breadboard, it's going to be 16. That's 2.5, so woo, cool. And here is the piece with the little breadboard piece just sitting on the front there. It gives me I wanted minimum of 15. It gives me from here to here 16 inches, so we're good. And there's that 45. I checked it with my machinist grade little 45, and it looks right on. So now I'm already set up. Cut the other 45 in the top piece, the opposite angle. So I got the guide already clamped in, already checked that everything looks good. So that's next. Okay, I made this makeshift fence here for my router table, so I could use this slot cutting bit here. And it's got a bearing on it, but I didn't want to cut the full depth first whack, so I needed a fence. So what I'm doing, I've been playing with it here, cut a groove in here, 1/4 inch wide, but it's only about 1/4 inch deep at this point. It's going to go 1/2 inch, so make another pass. So one in there and one on here. This is the bottom piece. Trying to do this, kind of see I got it in there. So I'm going to put a 1-inch oak 1/4 inch thick spline to hold those two pieces together, and I'll just fasten it in the center so that bottom there will be able to expand and contract. This one won't because it's linked to the grain, but really those being the width could be some contraction and expansion. So that's how I'm going to fasten this, what I'm calling breadboard front, and the top on the back piece I'm going to fasten the same way. The walnut top that you can see way back over there. Here I'm going to do it the same way with a 1-inch 1/4 inch thick, 1-inch wide oak spline. Alright, let's do another pass on this one here to make it wide enough. Got two backs running, so it's a little noisy. Got the little shop back here. I got the main back system that hooks underneath here, so a little noisy. So this one we got cut wide enough for the 1/4 inch spline, just got to go deeper yet. So cut this next to it's wide enough for the oak spline. Then we'll come back, cut them both deeper. Okay, now we're going to make another pass to make it the full half-inch deep. Okay, after splining the breadboard for the front and that trim top, I'm ready to put this thing together here at this 45. So I've got it upside down, wedged in the table saw here between the fence and that miter slot. Got it pretty well lined up. I think I'm going to use epoxy on this joint. I'm going to spread some epoxy on it, put it down, shoot about 3 nails in it, kind of hold it. Then I pre-drilled it right here and here, and we're going to run a screw in, draw that together at the screw. Then between those 2 screws and 3 nails, should be good enough then to pick it up and take it over to those clamps there. And I'm going to clamp it. Those 2 clamps going one way, and then 1 clamp going the other way. And then I'm going to let that epoxy set up, and then I'll take it out of the clamps, put about 4 dowels in there and 2 splines, and hopefully it'll come out strong. Alright, pulled this thing out of the clamps, just set the top piece on there and just set the breadboard in front, but it's all epoxied there, got the 2 screws in it, a couple nails, and I just laid out some dowels, Miller dowels, where I'm going to put them. So I'm going to put these 3 1X or 2X ones from the back into there, into the flooring. Then I'm going to put 3 those walnut ones coming up this way into the walnut. So it'll be 5 dowels. And then, it's maybe overkill, I'm going to put a spline on each side and probably 1 right beside this here. So I'll have 3 splines, 6 dowels, 3 splines, 2 screws, 3 nails, and a partridge in a coffee bar. Okay, right here I'm drilling for the first Miller dowel to go in. This is the back, this is the bottom. Putting one of the long ones through the back into the bottom. So I got it marked just a little off center of this piece because I want to put a spline in the middle of this piece, and the spline's going to go on each close to the outer edge. So I marked the center of the width of this board down here, and I'm just kind of using this to help me go straight down. So I've got it started already. So far so good? Straight? Here we go. Wow, I have to get low here. Okay. Pressure on, get some out. Here, a little bit out there. Where's the battery? Pressure on, okay. So I got that blown out, and actually this joint, when I checked it this morning with just the epoxy, 2 screws here, and there was 3 nails that hold it while I got those screws in. And that epoxy set up, and this morning that thing felt very strong. So I'm probably going to go overkill with all these dowels and splines, but when this is hanging on the wall and that shelf's hanging out there about 16 inches, you know, in a Keurig coffee maker that's going on it, you've got that lid, and you push it down and shut it, and there's some pressing down on it. So I just want to make sure it's super strong, not going to work loose. All right. Oh! Well, now, how do you hold it up? Okay, I got these on the outside pieces here marked out and punched. And again, I'm keeping them kind of inboard of this strip because I want to put a spline on this outside edge. And that's why this one's off center, because again, I'm going to put a spline in the center here, so 3 splines for added strength. Okay, I've switched to the smaller ones, the 1X bit. And here's a little bit smaller ones. So they're going to go in there. So same process. Try to use this to drill my hole straight. Come on, got it. There. Okay, same process on these three going the other way. These are the smaller 1x ones into the walnut. Got the 3 holes drilled. I kind of staggered them because this one was off center this way, so I put 2 in this one. So then I'll have, there's going to be dowel, 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 spline, spline, spline. Woo! Okay, I cut one 1/4-inch spline slot in so far. I'll show you how I did this with this jig here. So let me get this on the tripod, and debating 2 or 3. Originally I thought 3. I think I'll go ahead and put 3. So 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. Why not? Set up, and I've got that thing covered. Probably got so much crap in there, there's no wood left in that joint. Okay, here goes the one on the other side. Got this little light under here just so I can see the blade when it blades all the way through. And what I do is, I have these precision little blocks here. These 2, this thinner one is the thickness of my blade. This one is the balance to make up 1/4 inch. So now that I've cut that first one, I'll put this bigger one in here. That'll get me over to my 1/4 inch. The other side, we'll put it right in there. Put it right in there. And slide this against it, make another cut, and that'll give me the other side of my 1/4 inch slot. And show you what's next here. So now we've got a little piece left in the middle, so then I'll go back, take this skinnier one, put it in there. And that'll move it over so I can clean out that center. And there it is. Pretty clean. Here's 1/4 inch material. Actually, this is the one that I'm going in there. A little snugger than the other side. Let's see. This one goes in easy but snug. Now, why isn't this one? Here's the angle I'm at here. I'm trying to do it without letting this thing fall off. Oh, there it goes. See? So there's number 2. Now line it up for one in the middle. Alright, here's the 3 spline slots ready for the 3 splines. I'm going to epoxy these, so I'm going to mix up a little epoxy here. Tap them in there. Okay, the 3 splines are in and all trimmed. So that's good. Now, moving over to the, let's see if we can get this camera over there, to the breadboard front here, right here. Got the oak spline. I'm going to epoxy it into the breadboard because this grain's running this way, so it's not really going to expand. But the coffee bar could have some movement because of the width, so we're going to epoxy it solid in here. Then I'll show you later how we're going to attach it to the coffee bar to give for some expansion in the bar. Okay, epoxied the breadboard piece spline in. It's down there, 3 clamps on it. Now I'm getting ready to do the top trim piece. Alright, I got this breadboard end on this bottom here epoxied on. Remember, I put the spline in there. The spline is epoxied solid to this piece. The grain's running this way, but for expansion in these widths, I just epoxied this piece in the middle here, about this wide. It's epoxied in. And I'll probably drive 2 pins into that also here in the middle, and the rest is just floating in this part, in that 1/4 inch groove. So now after I get all this to its final sand, I'll put the top on here. I still got to put this on, but I wanted to leave that off so I could get in there and sand it good. It's been rough sanded. It's been about to 120, but I did a little scarring on it here, so probably start with 120 and take it up to 220. Then epoxy this on basically the same way as this, just epoxy it in the middle and put a couple pins in it so that can expand in its width there. And then we'll probably put the hangers on it. I'm going to put these like little French cleat thingy boppers. Put one on the wall, put one on the back of this, and it drops in. We'll have 2 of those in the back. And then finishing. I can't wait to see what's finish on it. Alright, just epoxy the top on. Same way as the bottom. I just put the epoxy about that wide here in the center. And got it clamped down. And I'll put 2 3/4 inch pins through the back here into that spline, so it shouldn't go anywhere. Then after it sets up, I got to cut this spline that I'm leaving exposed here. So I got to cut it off here on each side. And then mount the hangers and maybe a little touch-up sanding, then start putting my coats on. Yahoo! Alright, just took the clamps off the top. Top's on good and secure. So now I just gotta trim these little, on each side, the spline off. And then probably just some minor touch-ups so that I can start the finish coats. And I put the French cleats on the back, 2 of them, one there, one there. And once that goes on the wall with it up against this edge here, it can't slide off either way. So we'll mount the opposite one on the wall just about a 1/4 inch closer in. Make it a little easier to get on, but like I said, it won't be able to slide off. And so this thing's about wrapped up other than its 15 million clear coats. Alright, cutting the spline in this top piece. This is a close-up of the end here where I've got to cut this spline off here. I did the other end already and worked good, so this is how I did it. I put some tape on all the surfaces where the little Japanese saw that I'm going to use, which is this one. Real flexible. Everywhere the teeth could hit to mar these 2 surfaces up. Now, naturally, it won't protect it, but at least I can see if I'm starting to rub it. If I catch that right away, I can alter the angle. So like I said, the other side, I didn't scar it any. Started to hit the tape, but stopped and kind of readjusted. So let's give this one a try. I'm going to cut this way first, and then down. That worked pretty good. So hopefully if I take my time, I'll get the second one accomplished as well. Alright, there it is with the spline cut on each end. Looks much better without that spline sticking down. The ledge hanging off there. That's the look I wanted. Alright, I started putting the first coat of General Finishes Exterior 450. I went with that over the General Finishes Armor Seal, because the Armor Seal would darken it more than this water base Exterior 450. And those are the 2 finishes I happen to have that I had enough of to do this thing, so it was going to be one of those, and the Exterior 450 won out. Thought I'd try to throw it through packet. We All right, this is coat 4, and finally it's not soaking in as much. It's starting to pop a little bit and look good. Judging by this, I'd say it's probably going to need 2 more coats. All right, there's the wall coffee bar done. I had a few little spots I kind of sanded a little bit and touched up this morning, but it's got about 6 coats now of exterior 450 on it. And so next we're going to hang her up, get the Keurig machine on it, and then Homestead Deb, this is going in the Homestead here, she's going to see what we might want to add to it as far as maybe some decorative baskets that are decorative plus functional to hold some supplies for it. Maybe a little pot succulent, some decor up on that top rail up there, something like that. So that's what we'll get for you next. Hang on.